Pass the microphone down the row. My first question is for Daniel and Julie. I personally am a big baseball fan, and so I am very curious to know, do you have any personal connection to baseball, or was that more of an idea? Or?
Absolutely. The backstory, well, this was kind of a tribute to my late husband, so he was the head baseball coach at UTA. So there is a baseball connection. And actually the ball field where we shot, it's called Clay Gould Ballpark.
Wow. My grandfather was a major league player until he got drafted into World War II.
So we can just open now up to the audience for if you guys have any questions.
Wait, I have a question. Oh. I keep asking the Pioneer guys questions at the Q&As because people like to program our films together, I think, somehow. So my question is, I'm so... at that place. My question is, one of the things that I think is interesting about the dad is that he's so challenging. Like, he doesn't make anything easy. He, you know, when his son is like, maybe I can come find you when you die, he's like, no. But he's still so loving. Can you tell us something about that and about the possible inspiration for that character?
I don't have any children of my own, but I like to think that, I mean, I'm trying to remember how my parents addressed that topic with me, and I don't actually remember it. It was like, it was something I was aware of for as long as I can remember, so I assume they told me at some point, like, explained death to me in a pretty succinct way that made sense to me at that age without, like, you know, sugarcoating it, but also not scaring me, because I was never scared. And I just, you know, have often wondered, like, how I don't remember coming to terms with it. Like, I come to terms with it as an adult, I know how I'm doing that, but like as a child, like how I understood it or how I came to terms with it at that point, I don't know. And so it's just like my imagination as to how to deal with that question, because that's definitely something I assume as a parent that you have to deal with, and I'm curious how I would do that if I ever have kids, but I haven't had to do that yet, and it's just guesswork, I guess, on my part.
Miles asked a question last night during the screening, during the movie. Why do people die during their sleep? During this screening, which you would know. And you can talk to Kevin about how you answer that question.
Any more questions? Come on, somebody's got to have some good questions.
I got one.
Yeah.
What was the one of the craziest moments while shooting your short film that kind of...
Nobody knows this, but Kevin's gonna die. There was a moment when I was running, because we would say cut, and it was really hot upstairs. We shot in an attic apartment in Oak Cliff. It was really hot, and we had an air conditioner that we would turn on, and we'd have to turn it off. But I'd grab Miles, and we'd run downstairs, and I'd fly him down the stairs, and I almost slipped and fell. That was the craziest moment.
What?
It was pretty. We didn't have too many crazy moments. Other than that, I didn't even know. We had the cops come, but that was, you know, the cops always come for every independent film.
The only thing that I have that even vaguely qualifies as an anecdote is that in that final scene in the elevator, like, she's so much shorter than him, and that in the movie she's already standing on like 3 apple boxes. Like, in real life, they're actually a real life couple. They're engaged, and she's, I kid you not, like half of his height. It is adorable.
The lawnmower.
Oh yeah.
We didn't have too many crazy things. I know when you're working with children, though, that can be kind of...
What about the bird in the fence? Did you put the bird in the fence?
Oh, yes, we had 20 birds on set, and we put them in between the fence. No, that was something pretty cool that just happened. And Daniel said, "Get over here!"
Well, Julie had to pay her daughter to be in it.
Well, that's what I was going to say. We shot in the dead heat of the summer, and Logan would not do a damn thing we asked her to do. Well, the first day she was great, but the second day she was done. So, but Miles, I'm sure you did a wonderful job. I'm sure you did everything they asked you to do, didn't you? And if I can, I want to say one thing. Clay's mom is in the audience, and I just want you to stand up real quick. Thank you for being here.
You make great gazpacho.
Yes, right there.
I wanted to ask the hunter and the swan. Yes, tell me your name again.
Emily.
Emily, that was really all three films were terrific. But what was your how did you come up with this concept? What inspired you?
Well, so I was reading, I had this book of fairies and elves growing up, just a book of fairy tales. And I was at home, for some reason I was visiting my parents and reading that book and reading that story, which is a real fairy tale about the swans. And it exists in all different cultures, and like sometimes the women are seals, or sometimes they're cranes or cormorants, or all of these. It's just an often repeated image. Yeah, and I just asked myself, what would it be like if she asked him that question, and what kind of situation would that create? So it's a very straightforward, like how I got the idea, and then I wrote the film about what would happen, and then yeah.
Where are you? Tell me your background as far as filming.
I guess I started writing and directing plays, and then I